Hey, welcome to Two Cents, everybody. This is the Dollar Views Weekly After Show, episode 37. We got a special guest this week, and someone's also not here. Say hello to Brendan Klein.
Hello, it's me.
So tell us about yourself. You have a podcast too, is that correct?
Yes, I'm the co-host of a horror movie review podcast called Scream 101. We just did The Serpent and the Rainbow because it's Zombie
Ooh.
History Month.
And rest in peace, Wes Craven.
Yeah, I mean, basically my entire life has been watching Wes Craven movies forever, and now I have even more reason.
Great.
Also, I'm a horror news editor at arrowinthehead.com, so you can pretty much sense a theme with where I'm going here.
Plus popcorn culture too, the blog spot.
Yes, that's the name of my blog. You remembered. That's
I
so
do.
sweet.
I do check it out every once in a while.
Thank you.
There's some good reads on there.
I appreciate that. And it's jiffypopculture.blogspot.com.
Ooh. So yeah, Steve isn't here for some reason. I think he's sleeping. He's still in Austin, as you guys know. He does have an apartment now, so don't worry. Hopefully, he's not molested in his hostel anymore.
Well, I did call a hit on him so I could be on the show.
Really?
Yeah.
That's good.
He's probably dead.
Is he the one with the arrow in his head? Is that the name of your website for a reason?
Yeah, it was named after my method of assassination.
Ooh, spooky. So let's start the show off with something kind of big. AMC Theaters, they just acquired Carmike Cinema this week. I think it was on Wednesday. They paid $1.1 billion for the Midwestern chain, and in doing so has now become the largest movie theater chain, not only on the planet, but also in the United States, now surpassing Regal Cinema. This is huge, especially when you take into consideration that they're owned by Wanda, a Chinese company, since 2012. They got a lot of money now. If they were to put something out, or not put it out for that rather, really damaging to the rest of the industry.
Yeah, especially, I mean, considering certain controversies like The Interview.
Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon sequel too.
Yeah, theaters controlling distribution. This is really huge. And also, they get all my money because that's the closest theater to me.
Right. I mean, I worked at an AMC theater over the summer, so...
I'm so sorry.
Oh, yeah. We kind of talked about this before. It was a bad experience. But it's like, wow. Think about... Because our managers floated around all the time. We'd have one for like a couple of weeks, then they'd go somewhere else for like a quarter, and it was always like a shuffle. Like, I have to imagine the next couple of years that's going to be like, oh, you're moving to Kansas, or something really bizarre like that.
Yeah, that's like $250 million revolving doors.
Yeah. So it must be cool. It'd be awesome if you're like a superstar manager and they take you to China. But yeah, like I wonder what this is going to be like. They don't have their... I mean, they have a partnership with IMAX instead of being like Cinemark with their XD, or like Cinemark has their... Not Cinemark, I mean, ArcLight has their angle too. I wonder if they're going to do anything new or just hope to keep the same kind of clientele, because I do have an AMC Stubs card and it is pretty cool.
I assume they're going to keep the same kind of thing. I mean, it's AMC. They're such a big corporation as it is. It's like when McDonald's expands. Like, it's still McDonald's.
Yeah. Next item right here. These are headlines, folks. HBO, they, over the last couple of years, forever actually, have sent out screeners for the beginning of the season for critics so they can review the show's season before it hits the air. And so Game of Thrones this year, they've decided that they're not going to be putting them out, not mailing them to the critics, to try to curb one of the most pirated series on the internet of the last couple of years getting spoiled again. Like last year, the first 4 episodes were available before the season premiere even. So it seems like this is the way the industry's moving. We've talked on the show about Oscars moving this direction. Someone was telling me about review links that movies have that you only watch like once or twice and then the link doesn't work anymore. So it's a logical step, especially, we go to Twitter anyway for critical response. They can just tell us that Sunday night, right? Wouldn't you care more that day instead of some profit 5 days down 2 weeks before it even happens?
Yeah, I don't know. This actually, in the world of journalism, in which I flatter myself I am somewhat of a part of, this is actually really...
More so than I am, definitely.
Well, thank you. This is actually really impactful from the side of the journalists, which I don't think anyone hears about, so you're welcome. I'm here. Because what I used to work for an LGBT-oriented site called The Backlot.
Uh-huh.
And I did recaps for the TV show Looking that they had with Jonathan Groff and whatever.
I'm a fan of that show. I can't wait for the movie, the finale movie.
Oh, me too. It was really fun. And so basically I had to watch it as it aired and then have something prepared by the next morning. Like
Fun.
a full complex review of the entire show. I mean, it was a recap, but it was still
Yeah.
pretty intense. So that's only going to get worse, especially with people who have more critical reviews. Like if someone works for, Variety or something that's not the backlot, that's going to be really insane, and it's going to really curb a lot of quality journalism about Game of Thrones, even if it protects the spoilers or whatever.
Even then, though, when they do the the night after review, spoiler little articles that they do on Variety and such, they had to wait anyway because they only have, like I said, the first 3 episodes, I believe, and they show those at the premiere too. In Hollywood, they have the red carpet ceremonies. Here's the first 2 episodes of the season, and then the critics get an extra 1 or 2. So I don't know. I don't have sympathy for people like that for Game of Thrones. I just think it's interesting in terms of a premiere because. When is it? It's April 12th, I believe, is the premiere of this season. It's good that, the Thursday before, usually when they would have to break their silence. They're we can post now. It's over. That it's actually going to be Sunday night. So you're going to be able to make your own opinion. There's not going to be any chance for spoilers, like you said. But it's also, it's a good way to stop the piracy, or at least try to find a way to make it lessened. Because HBO is pretty proud of the fact that they've had the most pirated show on the internet for the last 3 years. They flaunt it almost, and so do the trades. So I wonder if this is going to make it even more pirated. It's just not going to be all at once in the beginning.
That's very interesting. I mean, because you're not going to stop piracy. Even if they don't have that head start, the show's going to be online within an hour of it airing. That's not going to change. Maybe they can curb slightly spoilers about the life or death of a certain character that's in the cards. But honestly, I think the only effect this will have is that criticism is going to be so much later than it normally is. From a viewing perspective, whether or not you're watching it legally, you're going to do the same thing you're always doing.
Oh, yeah. I'm just curious, though. I want to see, I know Rotten Tomatoes doesn't do the TV programs, but Metacritic does, and their review score is usually up that week. So it might get more people turned in, because I wasn't a fan of the second season of True Detective, but I know a lot of people didn't even try to watch it because it was getting such bad reviews online. So it might help, too, at the same time. Then again, I don't know if HBO is going to do this for everything. It might be just Game of Thrones for now. But yeah, it only has to happen once for it to be the norm.
Once this pans out, they'll decide whether or not they're going to keep going on it.
Hopefully. Something kind of cool this week. It's not exactly news. During the Sony hack in 2014, a lot of things were put out on the internet. A lot of emails were exchanged. And one of the stranger things even, was that there's a 21 Jump Street and Men in Black crossover film that was going to be in development. Jonah Hill was talking to executives. He's yeah, I'm on board, blah, blah, blah. Well, something's come out of this now. James Bobbin, best known for directing The Muppets. He also did Flight of the Conchords episodes. He's attached to shoot it, maybe even as soon as this summer. Recasting Agents J and K, but Channing Tatum and Jonah Hill should be returning. Chris Miller and Phil Lord will be returning in a producing capacity. And they're going to be using this as a way to reboot the Men in Black series. Recasting J and K, as I said. I don't know if I'm excited about this, but I do. It sounds so horrible or so wacky that it might be good.
Yeah, this idea is bonkers.
Seriously.
And I'm kind of sad that Phil Lord and Chris Miller aren't going to be attached as directors because they've sold a lot of really bonkers ideas already.
I mean, they're also. Well, I mean, it's because they're directing the Han Solo movie.
Yeah, I mean, that's also great.
And working on 4 TV shows. They have The Last Man on Earth, which had the mid-season finale or premiere tonight. They're so busy. It's crazy. They have the Lego Batman movie that they're working on.
Oh man, yeah. I cannot blame them for being absent from this project, but it's kind of in their wheelhouse now to take an idea that sounds awful and turn it into something that's actually really fun to watch.
Like the Lego movie.
Yeah, exactly. Or Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs and all that stuff. 21 Jump Street. No one thought that was going to be a hit. It was awesome.
That theater, I went, I think it was Friday night or Saturday. It was crazy how good of a response it got. And I knew right then, I was like, wow, this is going to be a huge movie. 22, not so much. But
I enjoyed 22. I thought it was clever. It was obviously not as good as the first one,
They did a good
but
way of like saying, "Oh, this is the sequel. This is the sequel," and like in a way that Scream 2 does. I just
uh-huh.
didn't like some of the characters. I didn't like the blonde girl from Workaholics.
Oh, I like her.
She's
Jillian Bell.
she's so crazy. Like she was
Jillian Bell,
good
you
in
have my love.
Goosebumps. I didn't quite like that movie, but she was good in it.
I also loved her in Goosebumps. I'm on Jillian Bell's train all the way. I
Ha-
will defend you.
have you seen that really weird show that she's also on Comedy Central where she's getting like homeschooled or something?
No, I have not tried that one yet.
I turned it on accident. Like I turned my TV on, it was on. I was like, "What is this?" It was so strange. I watched about 20 minutes of it in passing. Like I was on my phone. Um, it's like her character on Workaholics, but up to 11. Very
Isn't it
strange.
called Idiot Sitter?
Yeah, it's something like that. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I had no interest in that one.
Yeah. You might have interest in this. Do you follow like business stuff? Are you aware that AT&T purchased DirecTV sometime in the past year?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like even if you have both, that you can get it on one bill and get discounts. Well, they're actually doing something with this acquisition now. They're gonna be launching their own streaming TV service later this year. It's gonna be branded in three tiers. The first of which being called DirecTV Now, which is a cable cutter package that will replace the set-top box. You don't need a satellite or anything. It's all through the internet. There's DirecTV Mobile, which is geared towards tablets and phones and being around. Costs less, not as good quality, not as good of a package. And there's DirecTV Preview, which is going to be the free option, enabling anyone to watch certain things. But then again, it's going to be ad supported. It's going to have limited content, and each tier, gets worse and worse on the way down. There's no price points yet. No one's announced. Not sure what kind of networks are going to be involved. But this is something that I'm really interested in because Sony has their approach with PlayStation Vue, Dish Network has theirs with Sling TV, and everyone's kind of curious how people of our generation that have never paid for cable or satellite are going to be attracted to it. And maybe this is the right way, especially if you're already an AT&T phone subscriber.
Absolutely. Sorry.
It's okay. It's a lot of content.
I got lost in your beautiful voice.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Also, I was still thinking about the Men in Black thing.
Here come the men in black.
Not to derail the AT&T thing,
It,
but really quick. I want to say it's kind of disappointing that they're rebooting Men in Black as while they're
They have
combining
to.
the property. Well, no, but the thing is, they're combining the 21 Jump Street property, which already has the pre-existing characters, with new characters for the Men in Black universe that really should be developed separately before they get jammed somewhere else.
Well, this is the way I see it. This is obviously Sony. They don't really have a tentpole of their own. We're going to be talking about the Venom movie in a couple of minutes, maybe even now. But they're trying to do the Marvel, they're trying to do the DC, but in-house. And so one of their biggest properties that they can be fast and loose with is 21 Jump Street. They created it. Well, I mean, it's an adaptation, but whatever. And Men in Black, they couldn't get Tommy Lee Jones or James Brolin and Will Smith opposite Jonah Hill and Channing Tatum. They would just overpower them, wouldn't they? Plus, think of the tone of Men in Black 2 versus 21 Jump Street. They would kind of have to make it match, or at least they're both weird and over the top, but Men in Black was definitely at a more serious level, or maybe it's just the way it was shot, like very dark and grim. Maybe it's just as it's a comic book. But Will Smith, he's in the DC universe now. It's hard to get him to do a movie. He's trying to win Oscars and making Concussion. I'm still not sure who saw that movie. No one no one at the Academy. So I don't know. Who knows? Even if he's going to come back for Bad Boys 3. Independence Day obviously went without him. So unless the franchise is around him, it's kind of hard to keep it there. And this being like a baked-in pilot, basically, within the 21 Jump Street universe, I don't know. It's probably going to be something stupid, like they're doing some kind of investigation. It turns out that the drug dealer's an alien, and then the Men in Black come, and they got to help him. Or it has to be something like that, right? Or like they use the alien gun, I'm assuming, at some point, like fly through a window.
Oh, totally. But question: who should play J and K?
I don't know. It's probably gonna be Jay Farrow and any white guy, to be honest.
Okay.
Probably Jay Farrow though. I could see that from SNL.
Okay, Jay Farrow, Jay Baruchel, just both the J's.
Well, I mean, he does have some kind of setup at Sony already.
Okay. You know, I bet you Jillian Bell turns out to be an alien.
I hope not. Like the same character from 22 Jump Street.
Yeah.
Uh, I'd
See,
probably
this idea could go
I'd
anywhere.
probably cry, to be honest.
With happiness.
No. Uh, like I said, Sony, yeah, they're trying to make a Venom movie. This is
Yeah,
something
Venom.
they were doing forever ago. Obviously, Spider-Man 3 has Venom in it. Um, but apparently this is separate from their reboot with Marvel. This is like a continuation of what they were trying to do during Amazing Spider-Man 2. Like they were like, oh, let's make a Sinister Six movie. Let's make a Venom movie. So this is supposed to be its own singular film and make its own franchise outside of Spider-Man, which just really doesn't make
Okay.
sense because it's a Spider-Man character.
So it's not going to involve the Tom Holland
Yeah,
Spider-Man.
that's the rumor right now. Maybe that's just for the first film, but it's probably the reason they're doing this is so Marvel doesn't get all the money. Because I know their reboot with, obviously, Tom Holland's making his appearance in Civil War. Sony gets none of those dollars. And then who knows what kind of stake they get from Sony when the Spider-Man movie comes out 2 years from now.
Yeah, and that Spider-Man movie, I'm just going to
Mhm.
say Spider-Man because that's fun. But that movie, I don't see how it could possibly make anything like the money that they got from Sam Raimi's Spider-Man,
Yeah.
even from Amazing Spider-Man, because it's called diminishing returns. Who
They're
cared about the new Amazing Spider-Man, and now they have a third one, and
they're working on keeping the Marvel stuff together, I guess. I don't know. They're hoping, obviously, that even the Marvel movies that don't make money still make money. So they know they're going to have a success. And I guess we'll find out during Civil War. Who knows if Tom Holland's even good as Peter Parker, you know?
yeah, absolutely.
He
I
could
mean,
steal every scene, hopefully. I'm assuming that's what fanboys are hoping. But yeah, this, like, do you remember, who's writing that Spider-Man movie, by the way?
the new one?
Yeah.
I
It's
don't remember.
It's oh man, what's their names? The guys that directed the Vacation remake.
Oh,
The guy, John Francis Daly, and his writing partner from Vacation. I can't remember who his teammate is, but yeah, they're writing the Spider-Man movie that Sony's greenlit, and it's supposed to have like a John Hughes angle. I don't know. I don't see that happening. I would hope that is a possibility, but at Sony, I don't know.
I don't know. That sounds pretty awesome, actually.
It
I'm
like if
down
it
for-
is good, And this Venom movie, they got a good director, or a good writer too. Dante Harper, the guy that did Edge of Tomorrow, aka Live Die Repeat, aka that Tom
not
Cruise
Live Die
movie.
Repeat. Edge of Tomorrow. Edge of Tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, I mean, people.
But
I've said it both names to people, and I still didn't know what it was.
they should, because that movie's awesome.
It's so awesome.
And the
But
other writer is Jonathan M. Goldstein.
there you go. But yeah, this Venom movie, it's weird. Like they had a previous script written by Rhett Reese and Paul Wernick, who just did Deadpool. They also had one by Alex Kurtzman and Roberto Orsi, who are creating the whole Universal Monsters universe. So
Oh God.
I have to imagine both of those scripts were pretty good, and they're just like, nope, we want a new one. Get rid of it. Deadpool's a success. We want different writers. But yeah, hopefully, I'm a Sony fan. I have a Sony phone and Sony video games and whatever. Like I look at like 6 Sony things in front of me right now. So I wish them nothing but the best. But this seems like a fool's errand. It's like you said, diminishing returns. You make 3 Spider-Man movies. Venom's in one of them. You make 2 Spider-Man movies, and then you get rid of it. Now you're making another one, and then you're gonna have Venom on the side. Unless fans really love him, maybe he'll be R-rated. He is a darker character.
And Deadpool's kind of opening the door for that.
Yeah, in this case, yes. Less so. We talked about this on the show last week. We were talking about how the third Wolverine movie and the Batman versus Superman
Oh, of
director's
course.
cut. But this could be a case of we're putting in production after Deadpool. We're trying to make Deadpool.
Yeah, because like obviously those big tentpole ones are gonna stay PG-13, but like if you're trying to go for a weird fringe character, like Deadpool's proving the R-rated model works, Venom could work for that.
I think so. I mean, he's already that kind of character. I mean, he's dark. It's a symbiotic relationship between an alien and its host. So there's obviously dark stuff there at play. It's kind of like a modern Faust tale. I'm just gonna jump this off the show. For some reason, I was gonna talk about the California Bullet Train.
Okay.
I don't know. Like it was
Do
like
it.
a headline. I'm still excited about it. like back in 2008, this thing was passed. I had to do a report on it in economics. In fact, I was so excited. Well, I didn't have to. I chose to do a report on it. I was so excited. Do you know anything about this? Maybe you've heard it in passing, like an urban legend.
The bullet train? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So it like started construction, they messed up, and they found like magnet lines, and then we can't go through those mountain ranges and this and that. So the projected date now is that it's going to be making its first trips in 2025, which isn't that far away. It's only 9 years.
Especially for a construction project this massive.
This massive. It's not going to be all at once. Like if I remember, the original plan was they were going to make it go San Francisco to LA, and then expand that vertically to go San Francisco to San Jose to Sacramento, and then southern it's gonna from LA it's gonna go to like San Diego and somewhere else, and probably the Mexican border, to be honest. But then there's like, maybe we make it go to Vegas too. So it's like the start of things, it's the first bullet train in the Americas. Hopefully it goes through. But yeah, like I've like had dreams about this now, I guess, for 8 years.
Aw.
And less so now. But just imagine going like, I want to go to San Francisco, and getting there in, well, it'd be like 3 hours. But like initially it'd be really expensive, but down the line it would be, a lot cheaper than a plane, and obviously better than for the environment.
Yeah, and about the same amount of time too, which is great.
I don't know. You can get a flight from Long Beach to San Francisco in like an hour if you're lucky. Like
Yeah.
So it's only, this train's going 220 miles per hour. It's like how many miles? Like 800 or something, I want to say. Maybe they like put super magnets on the bullet train. Maybe they fire the train out of a gun.
I mean, it is a bullet train. I don't know how else they would do it.
Right? I don't know. Bullets are sad though. They killed Bruce Wayne's parents. And as marketing for the new Batman vs. Superman movie, Amazon's taken advantage of that fact. There's this new thing. Have you heard of the Amazon Echo?
Yes, I have. But first of all, I'd like to say your segues are on point.
Thank you.
You're doing this well.
They all doing the show for a long time, 36 episodes.
Woo! Congratulations.
Yeah. So, have you used an Echo, or have you seen one, or you just?
I have actually. My parents have one.
Very cool. Are you friends with Alexa?
Actually, I have made enemies with Alexa because I always shout at her because she never listens to me properly.
That's not good. There's like 4 microphones. It's supposed to hear you.
Well, I think I mumble too much. Probably is the problem.
That's probably it. Anyway,
but
so yeah, new publicity for the movie. There's this thing. What's it called even? It's like the Batman versus Superman investigative experience or something. But basically, through voice controls on an Echo, you're now able to investigate the double homicide of Thomas and Martha Wayne, and you can like jump between Crime Alley to like Wayne Manor to the Gotham Police Department and all these things. It was created in collaboration with Zack Snyder's production company and also DC Entertainment. They have actual like sound files, and this is the first time that an Echo's done something like this. I really want to do this. It sounds like it's one of those, choose your own adventure, like super cheesy books. But it has to be, if you're like a really big fan, or you just use everything that your Echo can do, it sounds like it's one of the cooler experiences out there right now in the thing.
absolutely, it sounds awesome. It's that interactive J.J. Abrams Blair Witch type marketing program, but in the modern age. And one day it'll be used for movies that aren't probably going to be pretty crappy.
I hope not. I bought my tickets for this movie on Tuesday, I want to say. I'm going by myself. I got a 9:30 Thursday night ticket in the Cinemark XD at the Pike with the lay-down seats.
Oh, you still work there?
It's a nice theater now, or so I've heard. I tried to go for Deadpool at midnight, and it was sold out all night, and so I still haven't gone. So that'll be my first time.
Yeah, it is really nice now. You'll like it.
I hope so. Yeah, but it can do a lot of things now. Like later this month, you're going to be able to adjust the temperature in your house if you have a smart home thermostat, like a Nest.
See, but that's where it gets into demon seed territory,
Well,
and I don't know if I
no,
want my Echo to have that much control over me.
You can currently already order a Domino's pizza, call yourself an Uber, use Spotify, like Google Music,
Yeah, and she has your grocery lists.
Yep, you
Like
can order
they're
stuff directly through Amazon. You can ask it questions, and so like every month
you
they
can fall in love.
probably I've seen her. Next is gonna be him. Like maybe Alexa's a dude. I don't know.
Alex.
Alex, Alex A. Um, but like they're expanding its range. Literally, it's now available in this thing called an Echo Dot. It's meant to be like your bedside Amazon Echo, basically. And it's small. There's no loudspeaker. It's like the size of it. I don't know. I think it's like a quarter the size of an Amazon Echo. And the idea here is that, like I said, there's no loudspeaker. It's just like a cell phone speaker. You're supposed to connect it through Bluetooth or actual wires, like some speakers or stereo. And it has the same functionality. It's just it's not in your living room. It's in bed. So like you wake up in the middle of the night. Oh, Alexa, I need new bed sheets or something. I don't know. It's pretty bizarre. But then on top of that, there's also something called Amazon Tap, which is the Bluetooth speaker equivalent. So they're really tackling this thing hard. I mean, you used one. You said you mumble a lot, so it doesn't understand. Do your parents like it?
They really do. And as much as I'm opposed to technology taking over every function in life, the idea of a bedside Alexa is actually really cool. Like, there are certain times where, like, I'm lying in bed, I can't sleep, I'm thinking about what I have to do the next day, and I always have to, like, wake up and grab a piece of paper and write something down or else I'm going to forget it. And it'd actually be kind of nice to have a magical robot to tell things to, and then it'll remember it for me.
Just voice notes? I mean, I can do that on my phone now. I never do. I just like, hey, okay, Google, and then, jot it down.
Or if it's like, oh, I have to pick this up in the morning at the store, or like whatever, something like that.
Yeah, do you have an iPhone or you use Android?
Yeah, I have an iPhone.
Yeah, Siri can do that for you. I mean, it's not as cool, but it is possible.
My Siri's Australian, so that's pretty cool.
Sorry.
Yeah.
It's bizarre.
Throw another shrimp on the Siri.
That could work. I don't know. I still haven't used an Echo yet, but this is kind of tech that I'm definitely interested in because I'm an Amazon Prime member. So it's out of my range now. It's not something that I need, but like in 5 years, I probably will, just because
Yeah. Do you want me to try and sell Echo to you right now?
Sure, go for it.
Okay. As a joke, I told Echo to play a Chumbawamba song for me because I was like, what other songs are there other than Tub Thumping?
Mm-hmm.
And answer, it played a beautiful folk song called Waiting for the Bus. It tricked me. Chumbawamba has beautiful music that no one's ever heard, and Alexa opened me up to this wonderful new world of music that I didn't even know existed.
It's horrible. The worst part about this is that I think I saw your tweet about this. Is this
a
month ago?
It was about a month ago.
Yep. So now there's context.
I'm now obsessed with Chumbawamba because of Alexa. She changed my entire brain chemistry.
That was a literal Chumbawamba echo. Literally.
Yes.
Last headline we got here. Pretty cool. Do you play the video games, Brennan?
I play video games. I haven't since I started college a couple of years ago, just because I haven't had anything with me. But
well, are you a Nintendo
2012
fan?
and back, yeah, definitely.
Okay. Well, then this might excite you. It was announced like 2 years ago, or not even that, like 7 months ago. I'm crazy that Nintendo might have some kind of collaboration with Universal Studios. It's true. Universal Japan is building a $350 million Nintendo-themed section of the park, and it's going to be open to the public by 2020, which coincidentally is the same year that Tokyo is hosting the Olympics. It's said to be like to mirror Wizard World of Harry Potter's scope. Obviously, they have less leeway. There's not stuff that's already created. That's a lot of money. It's like 4 billion yen or something like that. I hope that this is just the starter in the same way that Florida was for Harry Potter. We have one in LA now. It's like half the size, but still. So it'd be cool if, this came stateside. I would assume
Absolutely.
like 2023 or something like that. I don't know. I mean, it's cool. I mean, Nintendo, I'm not the biggest fan. I work at a GameStop. I don't like selling their games when I'm there.
Wow, okay.
I wear a togepi, though. It's not like I'm an evil person or something.
Okay.
But
okay.
Even still, I would like to go to a Nintendo Land. I would probably really like that.
Absolutely. And okay, what game would you want to be experiencing though out of those? Because they have a lot.
Like the most sensible one would be like Mario Kart because like that would translate the easiest.
Oh, obviously, yeah, that's
But
great.
I don't know. Like they'd be like, "Oh, this is like the Super Mario Sunshine Water Park section. Like this is the Legend of Zelda. Like you know how at Disneyland they have the King Arthur sword in the
Uh
stone.
huh.
It would be like that, but the Master Sword from Zelda. Okay, like that's something that they would just have to do. But I have to imagine it's just gonna be like a couple of like storybook rides. It's gonna be like Disneyland. Okay, there's gonna be like storybook rides, but in the Universal fashion, and then there's gonna be like face characters, maybe like a 4D movie.
Uh
Um,
huh.
but I can't imagine anything crazy. Like it'd be cool if there was like a Dr. Mario pharmacy, or I don't know, like if they went like over the top and did something crazy. Like there was like a water rapids Donkey Kong ride, but I don't know. It's Japan. I don't know if that's a thing there. Um,
Yeah, riding around in barrels. Okay, look, I will be happy if I can be in Legend of Zelda Land and pick up pots and throw them around. I'll be happy if I can catch a Pikachu, and that's all I need.
if you can like attack a chicken and then its whole family tries to kill you.
Yeah, and carry it over my head. Okay, there's got to be, because Disney has those characters that dress up in the big
Yeah, yeah.
puffy heads and stuff.
Mhm.
We need one of those of Tingle from The Legend of Zelda, and then I'll be done. I'll be happy.
I don't. I think they would pick a more known character,
Well, he's like
like
he
Kirby.
shows up on the balloons and he like
Like
wants
Kirby.
wishes and crap. Whatever.
I want Kirby like cotton candy.
No, there's got to be the Kirby restaurant because he's sucks
How
everything
about
up.
like whatchamacallit, a Jigglypuff karaoke bar. It is Japan.
Okay, I mean, obviously they
It
gotta
just
have that.
saying,
Okay.
I'm sure that probably already exists. Wait, those were the headlines. So let's jump into VR. We're already talking about video games. We're already talking about Japan. Before we go further, I have to do a retraction. It's not my fault. It's the media, and I report on the media, so I guess it's my fault too. If I got you guys' hopes up about a virtual reality, massively multiplayer online game based on Sword Art Online, I'm sorry, it's not actually happening. What was meant to be said in the article on Kotaku is that it is a demonstration at Japanese convention later in the month. It is not an actual alpha that is going in production. So just sweep that under the rug. No one cares. It was a fuck up. But what does matter, Brendan, how many VR headsets do you think are currently coming out? Like in the next couple of months?
Like different models?
Yeah, like by different companies.
4.
It's pretty close. That's
Okay.
about right. I mean, that's the major ones. There's the Oculus Rift, the HTC Vive, the PlayStation VR, and the new Gear VR. So those are the major four. But then there's like weird ones that no one cares about and no one remembers. There's like 7 of those. But one of the ones I mentioned, the HTC Vive, it went on pre-sale. The pre-orders were opened up a couple of days ago. They sold 15,000 of the suckers in the first 10 minutes, and this one
Holy
costs $799. So they made a lot of money really quick. Like, I'm really excited. Like this, if this continues, if PlayStation, they have a convention actually in 8 days at Game Developers Conference. Hopefully they do a similar thing. The pre-orders open up because that would like Oculus sold really well at launch. HTC has now. PlayStation hopefully does too. Gear VR are selling really well for the past year or so. Because this is like shaky territory. You have to get people to buy the thing first. Then you have to make good things for it, so they tell their friends and they keep buying it. And then you have to make incentive for everyone to buy one. They're doing the first thing so far, and so that makes me happy because virtual I'm too young to know this, but virtual reality tried to be big in the early 90s, and it failed. Like, there were arcade simulators, there was the Nintendo Virtual Boy, which is really notorious that me and my brother both had one. Like, super shitty system, but I liked it, even though it gives you headaches after like 25 minutes. But yeah, it failed. It just, the hardware was kind of there, but the public wasn't ready and it was too expensive. It's still pretty expensive. The public's still kind of not ready. Like I tell people about the Google Cardboard I have, and they're like, "What's that? What are those?" And not in the "What are those?" but like in a true sense of the word. So I don't know.
I feel like it's
the
already doing better than
Mhm.
like the Google Glass, like that kind of prototype thing, which is good news.
well, that was really small and limited. Like that's AR.
No, I
Like,
know.
AR was a bigger gamble at the time. like augmented reality even still. That's what the Microsoft HoloLens is. You need a lot of hardware and a lot of computing power to do AR well. When you're on Snapchat and you can do like the
Yeah,
cat
yeah.
face and stuff, and yeah, that's augmented reality. It's not a layer on top of what you're actually seeing. It's a mirror, so it's super easy. I still think Google Glass. I was actually thinking about this the other day. I think it's making a comeback. Like the big thing that we talked about last week in terms of VR is that Google might be using their technology from Project Tango and leverage that to make VR experiences. I think they're going to do the same for AR because that already is. Because Google Glass, it didn't die. They just shuttered it because they wanted to start over, and they made it for enterprise and business. And like I don't even know if the public can get that or it's like really expensive. But I think at their next I/O, they're gonna really open doors, and it's gonna be really exciting, and it's gonna make everyone go, "Oh yeah, we are in the future, huh?"
Yeah, we're finally gonna get those shoes that mold to our feet. Hoverboards are actually happening. Like that's not even a joke. Like
Um, not I. Have you seen someone using one of those quote unquote
okay, I
hoverboards in
know, like
person
it's
yet?
not ideal, but
Well, have you seen one though? Have you like interacted with someone on one?
which one are we talking about?
The one that's a
Oh
Segway
yeah.
without a
Oh, I got to
handlebar.
try one of those out. It's lunacy. It's insane.
Why would you want like? I can understand trying one out, but like if I own one, I would be so scared that it would blow up on my feet. Like I've seen those videos. Like it happens pretty frequently. Like Amazon doesn't sell them anymore for a reason.
Yeah, and they're
Um,
impossible to control.
really?
Yeah, I mean, you have to like
Maybe
lean forward, but to a degree that you're almost falling off of it constantly.
I think that's how Segways work, and that's why there's a handlebar.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, this thing that's already invented, let's take away the thing that makes it safe and then sell it to children.
Well, I mean, think about how cumbersome it was and how like hard it was to carry a Segway around. Plus, you look super dorky. Like these, it's like, oh my god, he's floating, but not really.
Okay, no, but those hoverboards, they weigh so much. They have the density of like a dying sun. It's insane.
It's like 30 pounds, right?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's cumbersome. It's douchey, frankly. Like when people are gliding around
Well,
on them, it's not.
You were riding one, so
Hey, I was trying it out. My cousin won it in a contest. I am exempt.
sure. But yeah, the I think the self-tying laces from Back to the Future Part 2 are coming out this year. Like Nike supposedly said they would. I don't know how expensive those are going to be. I kind of want them though. But yeah, like there's every week there's something new in VR, and the two ones this week are pretty like universes apart. The first one is extreme, literally. So Six Flags, they have their theme parks all over the country. They've teamed with Samsung to create what they're calling virtual reality roller coasters. And guess what it is? It's a roller coaster where you wear a virtual reality headset while you're on it. It's going to be branded with the Gear VR headsets that are already out there, and it's going to be used on the roller coasters going up to 55 miles per hour, including even going upside down and doing loops. It's part of what they're calling their new revolution. It's going to be available as soon as this month in certain locations, including Southern California's own Magic Mountain. And the experience there is going to be this like alien invasion thing where you're riders on a fighter jet and you're like co-piloting this like battle against these intergalactic demons. I don't know why this needs to exist, but it sounds really cool.
Yeah, it sounds really fun, but it doesn't sound that much different from a whole bunch of other theme park rides that don't use virtual reality.
Yeah, but I don't know. I like. Have you used VR?
Briefly.
Okay, so I can imagine what it's because you can do like virtual reality roller coasters right now. Obviously, it's just a video, and you're sitting on it, and it's pretty thrilling, and you're stationary. And I wonder what it's like to be on an experience like that while you're actually moving. Like, it must be really weird. They're saying in this press release that it's not going to cause nausea or like motion sickness or anything like that. I'm not sure about that. But I don't know. This sounds like it's going to be either really, really bad or really, really great. They're all in on this. Like, they're even making Superman theme rides later this year. Not at Magic Mountain, I don't believe. Well, maybe. Who knows? But just like the one out in Utah or something, like somewhere. Like I said, they're all over the country. I think New Mexico's getting the Superman one. I don't. It's like why would you want to wait in line for 3 hours to have a cell phone on your face?
Yeah, exactly. It's I mean they've got to really really find a way to use it creatively and do something that can't be done in another format.
This is, I don't know. I agree with that, but then the part of me that's skeptical about a good experience is also okay because probably the people that are attracted to this type of ride are the people that haven't had a virtual reality experience yet. And so at least that would be like a entryway, an entry point for all these people to adopt the technology later on. Because virtual reality is one of those things that you can't really explain to someone. You'd be like, yeah, you wear this thing on your face. And then it's like you're actually there. And when you move your head, you see it. But unless you're actually doing it, it's like explaining someone what it's like to be in water. You know,
Yeah, you're right.
you're like, what? There's this thing surrounding me, and I can move in it. It might not be the best implementation. That's not the right word either. Implementation of this technology, but it is a theme park. It is Six Flags. They have a ride, for Christ's sakes, where you lay down and you're supposed to be a dragon. So it's not the worst thing they've ever done. I do kind of want to go though and check this out. It's been a long time. It'd be really crazy to be something like on X2 with the flames coming at you and you're wearing this on your face. Like, and maybe it's actually a dragon with where the flames are there. That'd be cool.
Okay, yeah, all right, I'm down.
Right? Like, dude, go. It's not like it costs extra money. Like, it probably does, actually. They're like, yeah, there's a $5 riding fee.
No thank you.
No thanks. Final VR thing we got here. Pretty cool. McDonald's in Switzerland is trying something new. They're getting into VR. They've created something called Happy Goggles. It's a headset created by using the outer shell of their Happy Meal boxes, plus lenses that come in like the toy wrapper. It's currently an extremely limited promotion in Sweden. It's only available the first 2 weekends of March, so this one and the next one. And it's only at 14 locations across the country with a total of only 3,500 units on hand.
So you get to hang out with Grimace in Switzerland?
I hope so, and the Hamburglar. I have to imagine that this is just going to be like Google VR, like Google, Cardboard, except it's McDonald's branded. Like, I've seen pictures of the thing. It looks pretty cool. It's just, this would be, like, seriously, like, even for people our age, this would be the ultimate Happy Meal. Think about it. It's like, you get a cheeseburger, you get some french fries, you get a drink, and then, oh yeah, you got a free virtual reality viewer, which would normally cost like $30.
Yeah, that's crazy, especially because Happy Meals are, I mean, obviously cheaper than actual meals.
Well,
For them to come with something that intense is really
I have to
interesting.
imagine in Sweden it's like $30 though. It's like 20 Swiss dollars for one kid's meal. There's like a tax on it because it's bad for you or something.
Oh,
Think about it. We should do
okay.
that. The McDonald's tax. It's like how when you buy a gas guzzler, you got to pay money.
That's true, but also look, McDonald's is not doing as well as it used to, so maybe it's on its way.
Is that even true though? I have to
Yeah.
imagine they do better than KFC.
I mean, okay, who goes to KFC ever?
I go every once in a while. Like if I really like, okay, the last time I went, I think was because they brought the Double Down back. I was like, yes, I want the worst thing available on the market for my body right now. I don't need bread. It's a sandwich without bread. Just take some cheese and take some bacon and you put it between two fried chicken patties. Yes,
You don't need
success.
so many napkins, though.
No, you lick your fingers after. It's all good. You don't put the
Okay.
thing down. It's disgusting. I'll probably get one again in the future. I've already had two. What's the worst that could happen? I doubled down
coronary.
on the double down. Eh, it'd be worth it. Okay?
Okay.
But talking about McDonald's, getting into the movie stuff, I guess that's what people listen actually to this show. Whatever. I can make whatever I want happen.
Okay. Are we going to talk about Mac and Me, McDonald's and movies together?
No.
Again? The
Something
way it was meant to be seen?
I never want to see that Alien movie, the McDonald's promotional. There is a different McDonald's movie, though, the Weinstein's putting out later this year. It stars Michael Keaton. It's a biopic about the person, not the McDonald's brothers, but Ray Koch, the guy that actually made it into an international franchise. It's called The Founder. It was originally coming out November 25th, but the Weinsteins are putting out April 4th, trying to say that, you can put something out in the summer and still wins an Oscar. Almost happened with The Social Network for them. I can't wait to see this movie. And not because of the McDonald's, just because it's Michael Keaton.
Yeah, and honestly, kudos to Michael Keaton for turning his career around. I
Right?
mean, just a couple years ago, he was in the RoboCop remake. Like,
Yeah.
he went from Batman to Beetlejuice, and now he's like the one of the biggest stars on the planet right now, which is insane.
Right? If he like, I'm not, no one's seen this thing, but there's a potential here that he could be in the 3 movies that win Best Picture in 3 consecutive years. Just think about that, because Russell Crowe did it in 1999 and 2000 and 2001 with Gladiator and A Beautiful Mind, but he could surpass that. He's already at 2. He could do 3. What if
And
he's like the new Golden Child?
Yeah, who could have predicted that it would be Michael Keaton? Like, of all the Batmans, George Clooney. He's the one you
No.
would put your money on.
No,
But-
he's the worst Batman.
Okay, no, but I'm saying of all the people who played Batman, like someone you're predicting to like be in that many Oscar movies, I wouldn't have picked. Like, I'd pick Val Kilmer over Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton has some acting chops. Like, have you seen any of his 80s stuff, like besides Batman Beetlejuice? Like Mr. Mom or Gung Ho, Night Shift. Like, he's good. He's not serious, and he was never serious. And then, like, in the 90s, he made that Jack Frost movie and stuff like that, all over the top. But he's had, like, a steady rise back. Like, he was in The Other Guys with Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg, where he's, like, singing TLC songs, and he's, whatchamacallit, he's Ken in Toy Story.
Oh yeah.
What else? He's like in 1 or 2 other things, and it's just he was off the map for a while, and I was like, yeah, I'll just make Spotlight and Birdman and everything, and yes,
That's a pretty good impression.
yeah, it's okay. I'm not gonna awards. I'm not Batman. I have a Batman action figure from like 1992, and you can like take off his cowl, and it's Michael Keaton. I tweeted it
adorable.
Oscar night. It is really good. Like, I have like a little Batman shrine, and I hope that if someone else out there in the world has one too, that's why this popularity and resurgence of talent has come from. But yeah, you should check out his early career stuff. Like, he was special. Like, he was in this weird movie called Multiplicity. Who directed it? I think it's Rob Reiner, and it's like he does this procedure where he gets cloned, and then they make a clone of his clone, and then there's another clone, and then it's like it's the weirdest movie, but like this is how we do it's in it too. So like it's one of the best movies. So
And Multiplicity was Harold Ramis.
there you go. I knew it was a white director from the 80s.
Yeah, one of those guys.
No, not really.
One of them Caddyshacks.
Yeah, it's a movies. I mean, do you know? Well, you're cheating. You're looking at the internet, aren't you?
Well, I mean, I looked that up.
I was gonna say, I was like, do you know who the love interest is? And then I remember, oh yeah, you've never seen it.
I have not, sorry.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. But yeah, the Weinstein Company moving to Miramax, or leaving them anyway. Miramax has been sold again. They've now changed hands to being part of Qatar's BN Media. I don't know much about them, but this is weird. It's like they went from being the #1 art house like distributor, then they became Disney's like baby, and then they sold them off for money even though they didn't need it. And now what's the point? It's like I was reading, like, they own the rights to Pulp Fiction still, and Clerks, and who knows what else. Or maybe they don't have Clerks, but they own a lot of stuff, I think, including Shakespeare in Love. So I don't even know. Like, are they just a name now? Do people go to see Miramax movies anymore just because Miramax made it? I don't even know.
I mean, Miramax is kind of, what is its identity at this point?
But there's a name still. Like, I doubt many people know that it was either ever owned by Disney or that they sold them. They probably know one or the other if they're not in the industry. It's not if people unlike me, or people I can't even speak right now. People other than you and I and people interested in this stuff don't care that Comcast owns Universal or that Viacom owns Paramount, And I don't know if this will make a difference, but then again, they haven't put out a big movie in so long that it's not going to make a difference anyway.
Yeah, and I mean, never mind.
Yep. Your turn.
I got nothing.
Your turn to flub now.
It's that time of the night.
It's okay. It's an okay time of the night.
My bedtime is like half an hour ago usually, so
Oh no,
I'm crazy.
you can make it through. We only got like 20 more items. It's
Okay, great.
movies. Boston Marathon movies. It's only been 3 years, but there's already one coming out this year. It's called Patriots Day. It stars Mark Wahlberg and J.K. Simmons, directed by Peter Berg. It's getting the American Sniper Lone Survivor treatment. It's coming out technically at the end of December, so it can make for award season, and then it's getting its wide release in mid-January. Peter Berg has a history of doing this. Like I said, he directed Lone Survivor. Battleship. Oh yeah, good movies.
Also, he was the star of Wes Craven's Shocker, bringing it back around to things I know about.
That movie is no good.
It's something special.
I tried to watch it when it was on HBO Go, like 2 months ago. No, maybe it was even in October, and I turned it off after. Like, I gave it a good chance. I gave it like 30 minutes, and I just went, no, this is really weird. I had dreams about the serial killer.
That kind of sucks because the first part is actually the better part, so you couldn't even make it through that part.
Wow. It was like just the fact, like, trying to believe that Peter Berg is a good football player. Not a football player, but a good one. And that has daddy issues and all this weird stuff.
How good can he be? He got hit in the head with a football.
Is that what happened? It was
Yeah.
I turned it on. How many times have you seen Shocker?
Just the once, actually.
Okay, so that's not something that you're going to return, I would assume.
Honestly, Mitch Pileggi, who played Horace Pinker, was awesome. He's from X-Files.
You see the bad guy?
Yeah, that's the bad guy. Like, honestly, I thought he really went for it in that role. It's got a crazy heavy metal soundtrack with a whole bunch of, like, Alice Cooper, and it's not totally worthless, but no, I probably won't visit it for a very long time.
I mean, Shocker had to be made so Scream happened. It was the film right before Scream, right? It was like 93
no.
or something?
It was 89.
Was it?
Mm-hmm.
So there was 2 films in between.
There was, well, if you'll, oh, okay.
Come on,
There's
historian.
People Under the Stairs.
Yeah.
There was New Nightmare, obviously.
Yeah, that was 93, I believe.
There was Vampire in Brooklyn. Like, he did a couple things. Am I wrong there? I don't know.
I think, wasn't Brooklyn after Scream? Maybe it was like the same year, I don't know.
No, I think Vampire in Brooklyn was right before Scream.
Yeah, it was 95?
Yeah, it was. It was 95.
And then Scream was 97?
96.
Yeah.
Because by Vampire in Brooklyn time, everyone had pretty much given up on Wes, but then Scream came.
Yeah. I want to make a vampire movie, and Eddie Murphy's Dracula. I've actually seen, like, the majority of that, just cable flipping when I was a kid.
Yeah. Look, not even Wes likes that one, okay? Like,
it's a pretty ludicrous
concept. It was Eddie Murphy's idea.
Well, yeah, but he still, I think he had the ability at that time in his career to go, I'd rather not do this one.
No, look, Wes pretty much jumped at the opportunity because he thought he would get a chance to kind of break out of horror and direct a more comedic movie.
And Eddie Murphy wanted him because he made horror, and he wanted to break out of comedy.
Yeah, Eddie Murphy was like, this is my serious vampire drama. So they were kind of at odds, and it did not work out.
Fun. That's Hollywood. It could have been amazing. Can you, like, you've seen clips of Vampire's Kiss, right?
Yeah.
Imagine if Vampire in Brooklyn was just like that, but it was Eddie Murphy.
That sounds beautiful.
I'm gonna watch Vampire's Kiss probably this year. I might make Steve watch it too. It might be a Debt to Cinema episode. If you're available, you could join us as well.
Okay, thank you.
It's probably really bad. It's also one of those where I had to turn it off after like 20-minute movies. But I can make myself. If I make other people, I can make myself. But something that can't be made is the Sandman adaptation at Warner Brothers. There was good news this week. They got a writer, the guy that is writing Conjuring 2. He did the Nightmare on Elm Street remake, a couple other things
don't talk about
that I'm forgetting. I did not see it, won't see it. And, Joseph Gordon-Levitt was involved as producer, and he was starring in it, and he's going to direct it. But then, it hit some speed bumps. Basically, back, I don't even know, it was 3 months ago. Basically, he made a Facebook post where he said, I was totally with it when it was at Warner Brothers, but then when it shifted to Time Warner, because this is something that they did, they were keeping all their DC properties at Warner Brothers like actual, and then everything that was Vertigo, all the weird stuff like Sandman and like Preacher, even though it's at TV. All the more adult, weird, occult stuff was going to Time Warner, and apparently they don't know what they're doing. So yeah, JGL sadly left the project. Who knows where it stands now? I don't know why that wasn't released on the same day. It was really bizarre. It was like, oh, we got a new writer. I was really excited, and the next day it was like, I'm on Facebook. I got to tell you all what happened. It's bizarre. Were you tracking this movie though? Have you read any of the Sandman comics?
I do like Neil Gaiman, but I've never really got into Sandman particularly. My roommate read a lot of them, and I looked at them over his shoulder sometimes.
What about Death? Any of his stuff? Any of comics, I mean.
No, I don't really have the budget for comics most of the time.
I understand that. I mean, I bought a lot of them in college, and it's a lot more than most people have. So I'm pretty good at not buying them for a long time now.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it's like, I need a library, and then I made one, and Steve is calling me. Should I pick it up? Maybe we could just add him to the show right now.
Okay.
That'd be fun. Here, I'm gonna answer this call.
Okay.
Yeah, he just woke up. Yeah. Let's try to add him to the Skype call. Let's see if this is possible. This would be fun. Okay. Add to call. Steven. Steve.
Maybe he's sleep dialed.
No, he texted me. He's like, I just woke up, and then he called me like 3 times.
It says Steven on my...
Right?
Yeah.
That's weird. Maybe it's the ghost of Steven. Maybe he died. Maybe this is like Unfriended.
I was just gonna say that.
We're on the Skype.
We have to reveal our secrets.
Oh no. Never have I ever! That movie got so ludicrous. I really, really liked it.
That was fun.
It was a fun movie. I like the concept. Did you see that movie? It's like a short film. It's called Noah. It was in TIFF 3 years back. It's basically what they stole the idea from. I posted it in my review, both like on the Tumblr and on Letterboxd. You should check it out. It's really good. Except instead of being supernatural, it's like a rom-dram. But yeah, that's. I guess Steve is. Oh yeah, this one's all on me. Sorry, dude. Yeah, what? I don't know. Maybe he thinks we didn't do it. Let's try to add him again. Let's do it. Just because. Oh, it's ringing. It's ringing. He's gonna be like, wait, yeah, what's going on? Yeah, I took a nap. Yeah.
But when I went to see Unfriended, it was during the Grand Prix.
And
I went down at the Pike. Actually, I did that on purpose because the first time I saw Oculus was during the Grand Prix, and the ominous hum around the theater was super creepy. And it kind of added to the movie, so I went to see Unfriended on purpose during the Grand Prix again.
Is that your new tradition, to do horror films during a race to get your engine running?
Yeah, it's awesome. It's so fun.
Well, it looks like Steve's not joining us. Whatever.
Okay.
Sorry to get you guys' hopes up.
But Steve's not here, man.
Talking about Sandman, I do know that you've read... Oh, he's calling out. Oh.
Oh, man.
Steven, is that you? Okay, well, I'm with Brendan. We're in the middle of the show. You should start Audacity right now and just join us.
It's going right now, yeah. Sorry. So what happened was I just fell asleep, and
we
my
figured.
alarm just didn't go off.
Yeah, we pieced that together. I mean, I called you like 2 times. I sent you a message or 2.
Yeah, no, I literally texted you like a minute ago,
yeah,
and then I realized, his phone's probably off, so I should try Skype right now.
Well, welcome to the show. If you got the notes from Facebook, we're in the middle of Neil Gaiman lands. So yeah,
Also
Brendan.
nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, man.
So Brendan has read American Gods, and that's good because Starz is making an adaptation, and they got one of the guys from the 100 to be on it as Mr. Shadow, and now they got a Mr. Wednesday, and it's Ian McShane. Are you excited? Does that casting work in your head, Brendan?
Actually, it super works. Ian McShane, I mean, I think I know him primarily as Blackbeard from Pirates of the Caribbean, which probably isn't an admission that I should make, but I think he has the gravitas and old manness
to play a Norse god.
Yeah, like he has the look, but he also is a really talented actor, and he's a good get for them.
One of the most bizarre things I've ever seen him in, he's in this film with Nick Frost called Cuban Fury. It came out in 2014.
Oh yeah.
Did you see that? Yeah,
I saw clips.
the movie wasn't bad, but it was like really weird, like the role that he was playing. He was like the drunk dance instructor who lost his star pupil and was trying to train him back. I don't know. It was like some of it was really good, and I like dancing movies, and then other stuff was like, why am I watching this right now? I can surely do better than this. Just like the idea that Nick Frost is a good dancer. Uh, I still can't see it, and I've seen it. So yeah, it's bad news that JGL is leaving Sandman, but Neil Gaiman's got something good going on, and JGL's got something else going for him. This is a little controversial. It's like Oscar's So White, it's going along with Birth of a Nation, which is coming out later this year. He's working with Amazon to make something about, or he's filming something called K-Troop. It chronicles the KKK, aka the Ku Klux Klan, if you don't know American history, and specifically Major Lewis Merrill's army troop that stomped them out in 1871. He's going to be he's looking for a writer right now, but Levitt's going to be working with his Hit Record Films banner to produce this thing. He might star in the film itself. But yeah, like, this seems like a trend now. You got something about Nate Turner's Rebellion 17 years before this event occurred. You got this movie. I'm sure there's going to be, I don't know, there's probably going to be like another Civil War movie in the next 5 years just because, 12 Years a Slave was, 2 years ago. What do you guys think about this?
Oh, jumping from Sandman, that's the weirdest jump, but
JGL, okay, why don't you make the segues?
I don't know, like, I really don't know how, I just can't put it together, him and the KKK. It's really weird because, I like the guy. He's got a good screen presence and everything, so it's just weird to imagine him that way. I don't know.
Okay, let me explain it better. He's not in the KKK. The film's going to kind of chronicle how they came to be, but it's about... Okay, so he's going to be...
So he's supposed to be the good guy.
Yeah, he's going to be the major in the K-Troop of the army who went around during 1870 and 1871 and disbanded the KKK. Like, they broke them up. Like, they didn't return until, I believe, 1915 or 1920. But for a little bit of time there, we were free from white supremacists, at least in the American soil.
Okay, so that's less controversial.
No, yeah, I don't think it's going to be a controversial movie. I'm just saying, like, it's going to be something like Birth of a Nation.
Yeah, it's like Joseph Gordon-Levitt, KKK hunter. Like, it's not a biopic of the, like, Grand Dragon or whatever.
Well, it could be, too, though. You can't really... A good movie has to honor its protagonist, so I would assume that there's going to be some character building or some world making revolving the KKK and how it came to be and why it came to be. Because, initially it was, against the black vote and then eventually, became lynching and actually murdering black folk in the South. But like when it came back in the 1920s, it was anti-Jew, anti-Gypsy, anti-Catholic. It was like one vision of a white America, a white Christian America at that. And then now it's basically neo-Nazis. Speaking of which, you guys see that last week the KKK was in Anaheim and they were stabbing.
Oh, really?
Like, you didn't see
No,
this?
I know that's where I grew up.
There was like these videos online. It was crazy. Like these Mexican guys, like this whole group, they went there and they tried to stop the rally and like something. There was like I think it was like 30 people got injured and 13 were wounded or something like that. Like in the video, one of the guys gets stabbed.
Yeah, I think 3 people were stabbed, like to the point of going to the emergency room.
It's crazy. You'd think they would have guns. Like if you're in the KKK, like wouldn't you be in the NRA too?
I don't even know, man. I feel like it's like one of those things where it's like when you see someone smoking and you're like, why are you still doing that? It's 2016. Like, that's how I feel about the KKK. It's like, aren't we over it yet?
Evidently not.
The Westboro Baptist Church is still there, and the Vatican's still standing. So anywhere possible, ISIS.
Yeah. Brennan takes a controversial anti-KKK stance.
Let them know that you won't budge on this one.
Yeah.
Something that won't budge from our show, me talking about Max Landis. But this time it's actually
Jesus
important.
Christ,
no,
dude.
this time it's cool. It's cool. This isn't anything against him,
Wait,
okay?
Side point, I keep getting emails from Twitter about popular in your network, and it's all
Max
Max Landis
Landis
tweets, and I blame you.
It might. It's a possibility. I almost never retweet him anymore. Okay, just every once in a while.
Do you like his tweets?
I can. I haven't seen Zootopia, but I did like his tweets about it because I was like, now I really want to see it. He's not a controversial figure. He doesn't have a filter really, and he just says whatever comes to mind. And because he's a player in the industry, you know, people don't take him with a grain of salt, and then some people are like, "You're the worst thing on the internet. You're a woman hater. You're blah blah blah. You're a rich person's son." But this isn't about that. This is about him getting another movie made. So he made this spec script called Bright. It's a cop thriller, and on the title page it says blah 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 for David Ayer and someone else. And so that made the rounds. David Ayer's signed on to direct this thing. It's going to star Will Smith and Joel Edgerton, so a lot of talent involved. They don't have a studio yet. But wow, it's, you know, he's already had a couple of movies come out. He's got more down the pipeline. He's working on 2 shows this year. But this came out of left field. Like, it was seriously nowhere. And then it was like, oh yeah, I got a movie coming out this week, blah, blah. And then like all the trades picked up on it. And it actually sounds good. And they got real talent involved. But I think the most interesting thing here is, you know, David Ayer just wrapped Suicide Squad with Will Smith, and they're already teaming up again. So there must have been good chemistry there. I hope this means that there's a good film coming out next, was that November now? Yeah.
It's August.
Is it? No, it's not.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's a summer movie.
Wow. I should...
No, it's got the Guardians of the Galaxy slot.
Okay. Well, even still, you know, it looks like they're working together again. And Max Landis... Not all of his movies are good, but they're not his movies. He just wrote the script. So maybe this is a good one.
Really? I mean, that depends. I mean, yeah, what the last one was American Ultra, right?
Yeah.
Or the last one I saw, anyway. I didn't.
Oh, no, yeah,
we
there's
didn't see,
Frankenstein, yeah.
one.
We did not see that.
Hey, you know, he's turned in good work, but I mean, yeah, just as a figure, God, he just needs to shut up. Like, honestly, he's kind of like, this might be a bit extreme, he's kind of like Kanye to me right now, in that, you know, he can turn in some good art, but just as a personality,
Kanye has 21 Grammys. Kanye has 9 albums.
Okay, I'm not going by like on an awards basis or anything, but
Kanye's been relevant for 10 decades,
yeah,
like 10 years.
He's been around for a lot longer. It's just, as far as like public figures, I just want them to not talk about whatever, you know, just fucking make art. That's it. I
don't know. I think he's just a film nerd that has gotten lucky and gotten films made. And it doesn't help that his dad is, you know, fucking John Landis, but that's not his fault. He didn't have a choice. And
that's still pretty fucking cool that your dad's John
Landis. It is, you know? But it's like, not.
I'm not complaining about that.
It's not like, you know, he got his start because he was in his dad's movies, or like he co-wrote a movie with his dad. Like, I really like American Alien, his Superman comic right now at DC. I just, you know, I sometimes, yeah, he is a controversial figure. He will try to incite a riot on a hot topic, but I think he means well. It just, maybe there's something not wrong with him, but I guarantee he was on medication in his teenage years. I guarantee it. Well, not
if
me.
You say so. I could see it, but I mean, whatever, man.
Just how really fast he talks. I don't know how someone can speak that quickly and articulate actual thoughts. But then again, like he does these like weird things. Like, I've talked about this before, where he'll do like a reaction video on YouTube, but you can tell that he's walking around with his laptop, and like he'll pose in front of a mirror and like do like voguing a little bit, and then he'll keep on moving through his living room, and it's like, you have a rainbow mohawk. That's weird. I don't know. I hope that.
And this segment was president of the Max Landis fan club.
Not even, just a little bit. If I saw him in person, I probably wouldn't give a shit. Okay.
Yeah, that's typical Brian Gillis. Like, no, I don't. Well, yeah, kinda. Like, no, I don't follow him anymore. Well, yeah, I still do.
I don't like. I don't even check Twitter anymore.
Just a little bit.
I haven't like
just a little
seriously used Twitter for its actual purpose in a couple of weeks.
Which is following Max Landis.
Yes, I strictly just like check my list, my entertainment news list that anyone can check, and it's the source for all of these news items. And speaking of which, we got another one right here. Gloria Sanchez Productions, which has only made one film so far, the offshoot of Gary Sanchez, Adam McKay, and Will Ferrell's production company. They're adapting a New York Magazine article by Jessica Pressler titled "The Hustlers at Scores." It sounds really cool. It's being called a stripper Robin Hood story, except they rob from the rich and give to themselves.
So it's not a Robin Hood story.
Almost.
Exactly.
Why not?
Because he robs from the rich and gives to the poor.
These
like,
are-
anyone can rob from the rich.
These are-
Robin Hood's about giving to the people that need
These
it.
are
not
poor strippers that are giving to themselves.
I think that's just called a heist movie.
Hey, I didn't say this isn't my descriptor. I'm saying
No,
this
I'm-
is how
I'm-
it's being described.
I'm taking them to task.
Do it.
I'm just questioning it too. Like,
you
yeah,
can't
that's
get
not...
lazy just because The Big Short was awesome.
Well, I mean, that's not even this. I mean, did you see Sleeping with Other People, Brendan?
I did not see that one.
No, it came out last year. It's the only film that Gloria Sanchez has put out so far. This whole production banner, it's about female filmmakers, whether that be a director or a writer, and it's supposed to be slanted towards female-centric characters or storylines, and that's kind of what Sleeping with Other People was. It's the raunchy When Harry Met Sally remake, basically. But just for that reason, I'm curious where this could go. It might be like a direct-to-video thing or like small market at the very least. I doubt this is going for the wide release or anything like that. It's probably just going to be, a Sundance movie that makes it somewhere.
It's the same route that Sleeping with Other People
Exactly,
took.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it could be a cool play on genre. Who knows? But we'll see.
Maybe.
Yeah, it does sound fun, and it sounds kind of like the fun exploitation, and if women are actually in charge, they could manage it well.
I just hope that one of the strippers in the movie dresses up as Robin Hood. Like, that's her stripper outfit.
Okay. Very, very quick tangent. I saw a burlesque dancer who dressed as Pennywise the Clown from It, and that's not a good burlesque costume.
No, that sounds
The end.
horrible.
It was awful.
Who would want to tip that?
No one did.
Someone that's got a clown fetish.
No. Because, no. Wrong Tim Curry character to dress up as for a burlesque show. Definitely the wrong one.
Yeah, obviously you want to dress up as Long John Silver from Muppet Treasure Island.
Oh, yeah, actually. I got cabin fever.
Oh,
It's up
God.
in my brain. Did you see the season finale?
Of the Muppets?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gloria Stefan. I mean, it was predictable. I knew that the first season was going to go that arc.
Absolutely.
I'm with the new writers. I kind of like the stuff they did, especially with Rizzo and what's her name? Shit. What's his love interest?
I don't know. I forgot her name. I don't know.
The other rat. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, look. I appreciate that Pepe the King Prawn has more.
Oh, you're
screen
talking
time.
about my prawns?
Hey, yes. You know. But I don't like Kermit and Miss Piggy together.
They've been
like-
together for like almost 40 years. What do you mean?
I know, but the relationship
Seriously.
has been creepier for 40 years.
They make some funny jokes on the show though about why she's interested in. I mean, he's obviously got a pig fetish, so.
Obviously, like
Well, yeah, they haven't been coy about it this time at all. Like, it's been pretty...
Well, I mean,
they made it a little bit weirder, I think,
you
in that
stopped
pilot.
watching after the pilot, Steve. Like they changed showrunners. The last 4 episodes were
Yeah.
different, and the season finale was an hour, and it was basically just a big way for them getting back together. But they're not. It ended kind of weirdly. I like the whole chimichanga thing, or not chimichanga. I mean the calzone. That was amazing. That was so cute.
that was cute.
That was so cute. And then Pepe being on the plane, he's like, "They didn't get rid of me." I would like to just speak like him at all times. That
get on the plane, okay?
that would be a dream. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got so many arms. Arms is for days. Huh, Pache?
Yeah, you got to work on that.
I'm not a super fan of Max Landis. Well, no, okay.
Was that the French Pepe?
I don't know. I'm bad. I don't have the
You put
impression
the
yet,
Max
yeah.
Landis in the chicken.
Okay, guys, look, I'm Pache. It's spelled Pizza. Pache. Totally bad tangent. That's bad. That whole Pache thing was horrible. He was the worst. That was like the worst thing about the second half of the season, where they're like, "We'll make a character that's basically us, and it will be like meta and really funny." It's like, no, he's the worst character on the show. This is horrible.
Well, it looks like they might have already carted him off.
No, yeah, they definitely did, but it was just like, you what, huh? Like at least like counterbalanced with Manamana getting a cameo. You know, it all worked out. But this isn't the Muppet Show.
I wish it was the
that would
Muppet
be
Show.
cool. It would be cool if this was just some Muppet podcast. Maybe that's the next thing in the pipeline. It's not easy being green,
Very true.
but it's like also eco-friendly. It would be an eco-friendly show.
So
that
it's
could work.
part Muppets, part sustainable technology.
Yes, and part remakes. And MGM has one in the works, or they have for like over 10 years now. They're finally moving forward with their Death Wish remake. They've gotten the directors of the Israeli revenge flick Big Bad Wolves, which I'd never heard of until this press release. Bruce Willis is attached to star. This, of course, is the huge franchise that starred Charles Bronson in like the late 70s to like early 90s, I believe it was, and kind of made exploitation revenge films really big in the mainstream. They kind of already remade this before, though. If you remember, it was with Kevin Bacon, and it was directed by James Wan. Yeah, it was. What was it called? Not Death Note. It was. What was the name of the movie? It was Death something.
Yeah, and I know, and it wasn't that big either. This was like right after he was still trying to come back from Saw and prove that he was not a one-hit wonder. But yeah, Bruce Willis. I mean, you know, I like the guy, but it's just he doesn't give a fuck anymore when he's doing action movies.
Well, he got typecast so long ago.
Yeah, I know.
He just gets the paycheck now.
About it, yeah. Like, I mean, after Die Hard 5, it was just, it was just so depressing watching. It was like he was on Ambien. Like, the only line that he was passionate, he just yelled out, "I'm on vacation," and I'm not even sure that was the line. I think they were just rolling the cameras because they were in Russia. But yeah, do you remember when Red 2 came out and like
I did not see that. I did not see the first.
I didn't either, but there was that weird interview where like he just kind of, you know, a guy in
rolled
Britain
his eyes or something.
Yeah, he's there with his co-star, and I swear the journalist was a Brit, but yeah, he was asking like, "So you excited and whatnot?" And then he just stops and goes, "Okay, so, you know, what we're doing here is we're trying to sell the movie. So this is the boring part where we have to do that." And yeah, they're both just kind of looking at him like, "Dude, what the fuck are you doing right now?"
Well, I mean,
like,
what about Looper though?
Well, I thought he was like the worst part of that movie.
Really?
No, I barely remember.
I mean, no, I did listen to like Kevin Smith had like a 5-hour long discussion with Ryan Johnson, and yeah, the conclusion that they came to is just that he's got more respect for people that are passionate about their own material and that material. I mean, yeah, Looper's like a different turn, you know, because he's playing a much more conflicted character and he's actually acting. You know, he's not standing there like just as an action star, just running around.
Imagine if Paul Dano had a bigger role than Looper. That would have been cool.
Imagine if Jillian Bell was an
Look at me. No. So, yeah, you missed it at the beginning of the show, but Brendan has this theory that the 21 Jump Street Men in Black crossover reboot thing, Jillian Bell's character is going to turn out to be an alien.
Sure, I could see that.
See?
I had a better theory, okay?
Anyway.
I have the generic theory.
I'm not saying it's a bad... Well, I don't know. Like, what are you trying to just dismiss it? Or it's
wait, I got one. The new drug in this 23rd Jump... What would they even call the damn thing? What do they call it? Like Jump Street in Black? Probably. That's probably what it is.
Maybe 23 Men in Black jumping. It's like the 12 Days of Christmas thing.
Okay. This is probably what it is. Okay, the new drug, because both movies are done the same thing. There's
no. Am I too old? Okay.
Too old. I only know 3 Huey Lewis songs, and they're all in Back to the Future. I take that back. One's in American Psycho. But so yeah, the new drug in the third movie is made by aliens. Okay, and when they're tracking it down, they get help. Like their Ice Cube's like, "You're gonna need some extra help from inner agencies," and then out of nowhere, that was more like a LL Cool J or Ice-T. That was really bad. But anyway, so the help that it would be something just like in the first movie where they're just, they're cops and they wander into a case where there's an alien involved and then they end up with the agency. No, yeah, see, that was my first idea.
But high school.
That's cool too. See, that was my first idea at the beginning of the show, but I think what it is now, like I said, the drug that they find, the secret drug that's killing all the kids, was made by aliens, and when they're working with the DAA, the MIB comes in, they face scan the whole group, but because they're always wearing sunglasses in the posters, it doesn't hurt them, and so like they're part of the MIB.
Okay.
Now.
Not to rewind the
work.
show. Sorry.
Whatevs. Last movie we got on the docket here, probably the worst one too, but it's so bad that we gotta talk about it. Sony's making a direct-to-DVD sequel to Surf's Up. You guys remember that?
Were
Yeah.
there
Yeah, that
I actually like that movie.
it wasn't the worst thing. It had some cool water
were there
animation.
penguins in that one? Oh,
Yeah, there were
yeah.
surfing penguins, and it was
Like counting on the Happy Feet craze.
what's his name?
Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah, Shia LaBeouf was Cody, the main penguin.
Yeah,
So
no.
this one is going to be a collaboration with WWE Entertainment, and it's going to be headlined by their most famous wrestlers, including John Cena, The Undertaker, Triple H, the Diva Page, and Vince McMahon. It is titled Surf's Up to Wave Mania.
I mean,
That's amazing,
that's genius, and it should win Best Picture.
right? Like, too bad it's direct to DVD. I'm sure this would make a ton of movie at the box office, right? It's
No, this
supposedly
This movie
like-
could only exist direct to DVD.
Exactly.
it could be streaming only.
It's
It could
going
be
to
that
probably
bad.
be on Netflix, and it's going to be that thing that parents just put on to shut kids up. Like
I think
that's its purpose.
It's gonna be on Crackle probably too. But yeah, like the idea here is like there's like a perfect surf spot, and only the best five surfers can hit it, and that's them, and it's called Wave Mania or something. But WWE is gonna be working with Sony to promote this thing. I'm sure they're gonna do some kind of special on one of their shows, whether that's SmackDown or Raw, or I'm sure they have like another one that I don't know the name of. But this isn't the first time they've done this. If you remember, this was part of the promotion for Blumhouse's, what was it? I can't remember. It was a while ago now. Maybe it's still in the future. Oh no, yeah, they're doing that Magic movie from Sundance, Slight. That's going to be in promotion with the WWE. So this is something that they've done before, and it kind of works, I guess. I mean, a lot of people tune into their entertainment. Shit, they used SmackDown to promote. No, it was Raw because it was on USA to promote Entourage. They had all the guys in the ring for an episode, or like something bizarre like that. So, like they do this all the time. It's just like quick promotions.
I just can't see the WWE audience like getting into that.
What, the Penguins or Entourage?
No, just for Surf's Up. Yeah, I mean Entourage.
I don't know.
But like, how does it happen? Like you come back from a commercial break, WWE sponsored by Surf's Up.
It's just gonna be like Jerry the King Lawler going, "Do you guys like penguins? Good, because we got a new movie starring your favorite wrestlers." And then they're gonna do like a lineup of like John Cena, The Undertaker, Triple H. They're all gonna be on the stage, and then at the end Vince McMahon's gonna be like, "Don't forget about me." And then they're gonna like show their images on the jumbotron. The crowd's gonna be like, "Woo!" And it's like everyone that came out tonight's getting a free DVD copy, and
I'm sure
it's
the
gonna.
fans are gonna think that they sold out by this point.
Oh, they sold it.
It's
WWF's been around. Yeah, it's like the longest running soap opera that gets good numbers, you know. So
Also,
No, I'm just animated penguins though. That's the new low, isn't it?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
But John Cena is kind of legitimately becoming a box office draw. Like,
yeah, I mean, he had a pretty small role in Trainwreck,
he
but
was,
he was
awesome in Trainwreck.
him and LeBron James. Yeah, they were
and
so
he
good.
was in Sisters. He was
starred
good.
in other movies like what was it, The Marine and
Oh yeah, he's been in a lot of
12
stuff.
yeah,
all
12 rounds.
yeah, all WWE movies. Yeah,
No,
I mean,
so he's been in stuff.
we can make fun of WWE in their films, but if it wasn't for them, The Rock's film career could have never started. It was a co-production between WWE and Universal Home Media for The Scorpion King, and that was The Rock's first film, you know, and well, like starring role anyway. So
And WWE actually had a hand in Oculus, which is a movie I brought up earlier, and it's actually like a
Yeah.
cerebral horror film with no wrestlers in it.
mhm.
Yeah.
And like See No Evil by
Oh, yeah,
McCain's
yeah.
in that, and they did the House that Dreaded Sundown remake, and a couple of things. Like they do make legitimate movies. Like they have a cinema
Leprechaun
arm.
Origins.
Yes, and some other trashy stuff. I think they even did a rom-com, if I'm not mistaken. I could like research this.
Yeah,
But
I'm
yeah,
looking it up right now. I completely forgot that they did Oculus. Yeah, that was also Blumhouse,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, that's like
Yeah, that was a good movie.
This Light isn't going to be like they have someone else with Blumhouse coming up. Like there's some collaboration there. Is there a rom-com? I believe there is. Or like something that's totally out of their field house. Like they tried something different.
I'm looking.
But I would like to see this Pinguino movie. It could be really, really awesome. What if John Cena's hilarious in it?
No, I'm sure he could be. He has the potential to be funny, but I think a lot of that also depends on the writing.
What if
Or,
Shia
I don't
LaBeouf
know.
comes
Was
back?
Trainwreck were his bits improvised?
I doubt it. I don't know if he can do improvisation,
All right, let's see.
especially not in Chinese.
Well, they're definitely familiar with straight-to-video stuff. You got Jingle All the Way 2.
Woo!
Wow, there's the Marine 4. I guess there's 4 of them now. 12 Rounds 3 Lockdown. Oh, yeah, they did the Condemned. That was the Battle Royale rip-off movie with prisoners.
It's wrestling. It has to be trash.
Yeah.
High hopes.
No, yeah, it all started with the Scorpion King.
Woo! I know a thing or two about The Rock and his film career. Watch out.
Yeah,
Watch
the
out.
Rundown, Walking Tall.
Saw both of those in theaters. Rundown was actually good. I liked him with
Yeah, no,
Sean
it's
William
fun.
Scott. That was a good combo. I mean, I haven't seen Southland Tales in full, but I know they're in that together too.
That was a weird movie.
I miss him. Sean William Scott. He had his moment.
He hasn't been around at all, has he?
Well, that kind of actor doesn't have lasting appeal. It's not an awards actor. It's only for as long as he's fuckable on screen. And he kind of ran that course, like he was probably starring in movies between like 24 and 34. Like he was in the American Reunion movie, so.
You know what? No, he kind of. I'm looking at his picture on Wikipedia right now. Kind of looks like Chris Pratt.
No.
Yeah, just a little bit. No, look at Wikipedia. I swear.
I don't have to. I got a mental image. There's no.
I'm looking.
Honestly, I can. Yeah.
His smile a little.
In general, yeah, like I just a little bit of a resemblance there.
You got to remember though, you're talking about skinny Chris Pratt. Most of his career, he was fat Chris Pratt, and Sean William Scott was always skinny. So.
You know what?
So
No,
he wins. He's
I'm
the better
imagining him in role models right now. Yeah, you could swap both of them. I think.
What?
Yeah, I'm imagining Sean William Scott right now in role models. Like just remembering that. Yeah, I could totally imagine Chris Pratt doing the same thing. Like
Except Chris Pratt is only doing like wholesome family friendly roles, and Sean William Scott started out with Road Trip.
I don't just yeah. I see
American
a similarity
Pie.
Final
there.
Destination.
Was
He
he in
was.
that?
Oh
first
yeah,
one?
yeah, the first
Head
one.
torn
Yeah,
off.
he got his head decapitated by the
By the
train.
fence. Was it the train? Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the shrapnel that came up out of Devon Sawa. Him and the glory days, the turn of the century days.
Anyway,
Good
I
times.
think we need one of your patented segues.
Oh, you
Where
want
can
one?
see
Okay,
him
so
in Ice Age. What is it like
Oh,
5
God.
or 4?
you can't see
now?
him. It's a voice. Okay.
I mean,
It's
if
a
you have
voice.
synesthesia.
I think that'd be more like, ooh, this smells like purple.
Yeah, I mean, look.
Oh yeah, there's
It's
a
like
sequel to Goon. I
These
forgot.
pancakes.
Oh yeah, he was in Goon.
these
He was really
pancakes
good in
smell
that.
like Sean William
Yeah, the
Scott.
sequel's coming up.
Yeah, but there just needs to be. Like, I'm sure if Clerks 3 happens, he could get a little role. Because Kevin Smith liked him so much in Cop Out, I'm sure there'd be like, hey,
That's
here you
nice.
go. You need money. You need some money. It'd be awesome. I think he was originally in the running to be in the Hit Somebody star, and that's why he went on to do Goon.
God, when is that coming out?
Never. But like originally, like he was set to be in that. Like he was gonna star. He was gonna be like
Yeah.
Buddy McCracken or whatever his name was. And then Kevin Smith was sucking on his titties for so long that he made a different Canadian hockey movie. So
Well, shit.
there's still time. I mean, it's supposed to be like a mini series at AMC now, if that's the still stands.
Well,
Cause
that's assumed, right? They haven't even
Yeah.
announced what the network is.
it can't be a movie now because I know for a fact there's at least 2 scripts, which means there's probably like 4 now. It would be an awesome like 4-hour miniseries or something like that.
Yeah, no,
3 hours.
I still want to see it just because it's different from what Kevin Smith normally does.
I mean, it's a Mitch Albom song. That's just weird in and of itself.
Just
And
anything involving. We rarely see hockey on screen.
There's Slapshot and 3 Mighty Ducks movies.
Yeah, exactly.
There's,
How long
there's like
ago,
4
right?
Slapshot movies. Goon.
Like there's stuff you just don't see it much now. That's all I'm saying.
Well, it's hockey.
Yeah, no, I mean,
There's-
I'd rather see a hockey.
There's a New
sports
York
movie than,
Ranger in 13 Going on 30 as a love interest.
Oh, Jesus.
That's kind of like hockey.
That's going to
Who's
be
got
one
the
of your
moves
DTC picks,
on
isn't it?
and off the ice, ice, baby? I think I owe you one raunchy striptease. That's no, just me. Oh, okay, just me. Whatever, guys. We can't all be super fans of good movies. But yeah, moving to TV, or at least streaming anyway. Sundance, they picked up, or backtrack. The Sundance flick Joshi has been acquired by Lionsgate, and Hulu is doing the exclusive streaming rights after its theatrical run. This stars Thomas Middleditch. It has a pretty interesting concept. It's about him having a bachelor party, even though his fiancée has just died. I'm not a biggest fan of the guy who wrote and directed. He also did Life After Beth, which was but this sounds interesting. Like, I mean, it took this long to get acquired, and it is going to Hulu. But Thomas Middleditch is really fun on Silicon Valley.
Yeah, and he was
So
great
this
in the
seems-
Final Girls, which was one of my favorite movies of last year.
I did not like it, but that's okay.
Yeah, you can be wrong. It's fine.
You can be right in your own opinion. You know.
Yeah, I mean, opinions can be right, and I have one of those. So
I mean, if you'd like to clarify, or not clarify, if you can just admit that there's no explanation for the movie magic in that movie.
does there have to be?
No,
It's
I'm
a
just saying
fantasy.
that's the reason I wasn't a fan.
Oh, so you need everything to be explained.
It doesn't have to be explained, but you see, it's a pretty obvious, like, not ripoff, but a similar concept to something like Last Action Hero or Pleasantville, where people enter the screen and are part of the world. And it has the same kind of stuff that Pleasantville does, where it's like, oh, why don't we just go to the end of the block and we'll be out of Pleasantville? And it's like, it's a loop and you come back. Like, they do very similar territory stuff. The difference is in those two movies, which came out at the very least a decade before, they explain, oh yeah, there's a magic remote, or hey, there's a magic ticket. Like, there is, like, that's how you got here. The Final Girls, the theater's on fire, you jump through the screen, and it's like, oh, okay, yeah, that happened.
Yeah, no, I mean, movie screens are magic. I don't know what the problem is.
No problem, just saying it. Not the best written movie.
Okay.
It looks really cool. The
Yeah,
killer's
it was
pretty
shot
interesting.
like a fairy tale.
Yeah, it's a very gorgeous movie. There's really good performances, especially by Malin Ackerman and the lead girl. I like the girl that they have to put the boxing gloves on because she's a tramp and they don't want people to die yet. Like, there's some
Yeah.
fun stuff. It's just I had problems with
No, I
its
respect
concept.
that. Anyway, Thomas Middleditch, great in that. Great in Silicon Valley. Maybe great in Joshi.
Maybe. And, I mean, if you have Hulu, you can find out not too long after its theatrical release. But if that wasn't enough, Hulu's staying busy. They've also snatched up the streaming rights for He Called Me Malala, the big hit in the documentary circuit this past year. Surprised it didn't get nominated for an Oscar. But yeah, it's premiering on Nat Geo. I think it already did, actually. And it's going to be on Hulu sometime in the near future. But they're continuing, to try to cave or carve their own niche out. They have the Criterion Collection. They have Seinfeld. They have, TV the day after it airs. But the more exclusive stuff like this can make it more reasonable for $10 a month with commercials, which is still kills me. Because I think it's like $13.99 for the commercial free package, which is more than Netflix. So
Netflix is still $7.99, right?
I think that's one streaming only and no disc.
Yes.
So, like twice the price of the cheapest Netflix model for no commercials, which Netflix has no commercials always. Unless you count like when they're trying to pimp out their own shows, which I guess kind of counts. But yeah, only one or two things left on the show this week. Coolest thing in TV this week, in my, not coolest, but most interesting. Steven Soderbergh, who, despite being retired, is always keeping busy, is going to Netflix too. He's going to be executive producing this show with Scott Frank, who's the writer on Out of Sight with George Clooney and Jennifer Lopez. The screenwriter is also going to write and direct this show. It's going to be a limited series, a Western titled Godless. And like I said, he calls himself retired. He was the DP and editor on Magic Mike XXL. He has the Girlfriend Experience at Starz, the Nick at Cinemax, which he's directed a couple episodes for, the not controversial, but the new media Mosaic at HBO. He's producer for Red Oaks at Amazon. Like, he has he doesn't have enough hands for all the jobs he does currently, but he's retired.
No, I think now just by retired, he probably just meant movies specifically, and that's it.
I think he
Like,
meant directing movies.
Yeah, I think. Well, now it's just he creates and does whatever he wants. That's it.
I still remember he's like, I want to
It's
be a
not
painter
painting,
now.
though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I want to be a painter. And it's like,
Maybe
okay,
that's a hobby in his own time, for all I know. I don't know.
who knows if
Can't
he
wait
even
for
did
his
it.
album to drop.
I bet you he has one, and it's like Joaquin Phoenix did the guest rapping on it. I'm still here, guys. I'm still waiting for Magic Mike Triple XL. They have to announce that already.
Yeah, only you and a bunch of other people.
A
I
ton of
guess.
people, over 2,000 listeners. Okay, so
Wow.
yeah, so it's not just me and Brennan. It's a lot of people in the world. Thank you.
There's so many humans.
They need to come up with a term for Magic Mike fans.
Mike. I gotta think about that. Hold on.
Male entertainment supporters.
That sounds
That's
like a
yeah,
jockstrap.
totally catchy. Yeah. No, I'm kidding.
Magical Michaels. Just call them ponies.
Okay, that sounds like fans of the Outsiders, though.
Pony is what? Oh yeah, Pony Boys. Yeah,
Yeah,
probably,
I
probably
don't know.
would be a name for
Mike
them.
and Ike's.
Where'd the
I
Ike
don't,
come
I don't know.
from?
Yeah, how do you come up with one?
You say something catchy, and then enough
You
people
gotta have
say it because
Mike
it's
in there,
catchy,
yeah.
and then it's a thing.
Just what is catchy? Like, how do you throw Mike into something that's catchy? Well, I don't know. You know what? I'm not writing the movie, so it's not my job.
I'm chanting all over your Tatum.
Yeah, we could just be. We're tater tots. Is that a thing? Like,
Tatum
fans
tots.
of Channing Tatum.
Tatum tots.
I think so.
Michelob Ultras
Step uppers.
to the streets.
I would like to see a Step Up reboot, to be honest. I think it's gonna happen too, and I would like it in my. I would love it if, in the Step Up reboot, if Channing Tatum is the dance instructor, a la Patrick Swayze
Like
in Dirty
the
Dancing
haggard
Havana
old-
Lights. Not old, but yes.
No, I think he should put on old age makeup.
Did you see Dirty Dancing Havana Nights?
Has anyone?
I have.
I
So
have
I'm
not.
so sorry.
So it's like a spiritual successor to Dirty Dancing, and the concept is like Patrick Swayze at the end of the first movie went to Cuba, and he's a dance instructor there, and that's where Diego Luna meets the white girl.
Does anybody put baby in a corner?
No,
Good.
I really don't like that line. I don't know why people go crazy for it. It's really weird.
People love corners, man. They're crazy.
It's like I'm not a fan of Patrick Swayze at all. Like he's so, I don't know.
Point Break, man.
Like he's not bad in that, but it's a Keanu movie.
That's the main one, though, isn't it?
No, I think most people
I would think for me. Anyway,
for
it is.
you, yeah, but I think more
Yeah.
people say Ghost or Roadhouse or
I still got to see that just for
Ghost
the spine rip.
House.
just like Dirty Dancing. It's like those are his 4 big movies. He doesn't have any other ones. He's in that Powder Blue movie. I guess you could say Johnny Darko too. He's remembered for that.
Oh yeah,
But Powder Blue, I saw that thing. That was really bad. That's the movie where Jessica Biel shows her boobies. Not worth the price of admission. I mean, those are, but like the movie is
Wait,
so
isn't that
bad.
Perfect Blue?
I'm pretty sure it's Powder Blue. That movie is so. It's not like The Gift where it was. It's like I know there's tits at the end of this movie, but it's not a bad movie. It's just not good. That movie is actually like really, really bad. Like WWE's probably not made a worser movie. It was one of those. Bad, yeah. But yeah, TV. Like I said, there's like 2 things left here. Top Gear, huge show, gigantic. The BBC, they lost all their talent. James May, I'm forgetting the 2 other guys' names right now. They jumped ship after that whole controversy about like 8 months ago, and they signed up with Amazon. They're making something new, which is basically the same. Well, Top Gear's been in the process of getting a new show, or I mean BBC rather, like keeping the name, keeping the concept, getting new people. And so they've gotten Chris Evans and Matt LeBlanc to be new hosts, plus some other people. And so there might be international streaming rights at Netflix already in negotiations, which isn't a shocker since most BBC stuff is there anyway. But this would be really interesting because it would set up a more rival, like a more not transparent, but easier to not demonstrate, but measure rivalry between Amazon and Netflix. They would literally have the same show, or at least the new version of the same show, and the old thing.
Well, I'm not sure if Amazon offers streaming internationally either, at least, or they don't have that many territories.
Well, not in terms of places, but I'm just saying, like, okay, there's like Top Gear. Then I'm not sure if it's gonna keep its status. Huge show, like really fun entertainment. Lasted forever, like 9 series or something like that, and not
Which is
short.
crazy in England.
Exactly, and it's like not a short show too. Like Luther was, oh, there's like 3 hour-and-a-half episodes. No, it's like 15 episodes per series or something ridiculous. Like there's so much out there. I think currently there's like almost 200 episodes of that first incarnation, and so the fact that you have this talent and they have a huge fan base and they've moved to Amazon. And now Netflix is getting the new version from the BBC. Like, how do you can't really compare Chris Evans and Matt LeBlanc to people that, like, do they even know Cars?
Yeah, you can't even compare them to each other. That's the weirdest combination.
Isn't it,
but
though?
I'm so
Yeah.
interested.
It's like, let's get Joey and Captain America side by side.
Maybe they're big car aficionados and we just don't know it. I mean, especially
Yeah.
Matt LeBlanc, because, where's he been?
He's been on episodes.
Yeah, episodes on Showtime. Is that Star? No, yeah, Showtime.
It's Showtime and BBC co-production.
I saw the first.
So there you go.
I see the first 2 seasons or just the first one. I liked it enough, but then I was like, this is like really British.
No, it's not great.
I liked that first season. It was wacky.
Maybe they just really like him in the UK, and that's how he got it.
I don't know. Matt LeBlanc is great in the show, but the show mostly focuses on this like British couple nagging each other, and it's really obnoxious.
Well, I mean, it's Matt LeBlanc playing a stupid version of himself. It's pretty easy to get that right.
yeah, that's true.
You know?
Like James Vanderbeek did it in Don't Trust the Bee in Apartment 23, which
Yeah.
is also awesome.
Well, he doesn't play stupid though. He plays douchey
Well, like
and awesome.
exaggerated.
I would love it if that was actually what he was like, instead of being a family man and having 2 kids and a wife. Like it would be way cooler if he just had like a motorcycle in his penthouse.
Yeah, JVDB, big jeans.
Put your cheeks in beaks.
Yeah,
What is that? It's vodka. What's it called? I'll have what she's having. I don't get it. It's because when you're at the bar and someone asks what she's drinking, they say I'll have what she's having. Yeah, it's so funny. I definitely did a rewatch of that series a couple of months ago, as it's on Netflix, and
Really?
everyone should see it. It's really good.
it is. It's surprisingly good.
I don't think so. There's nothing surprising about it. It has really good talent. Like Drama Walker never went on to do something else. Like she was
Yeah,
in that
like-
Compliance movie. But I mean, look at what's her
Kristen
name?
Ritter.
Yeah, Kristen Ritter. I mean, she's a Marvel character now, and she's
And
in a couple of good movies. But obviously, Vanderbeek and Natasha
Eric
Khan.
Andre.
Yeah, Eric Andre. But Natasha Khan, the showrunner and creator, she does Fresh Off the Boat now. And there's like 1 or 2 other people that were on that show. I liked it. I don't know why it
Yeah,
died.
it was fun.
It was a lot of fun.
And
Last
Charo
thing.
was on it. Anyway,
Yeah, that Charo episode's really bizarre. Last thing of the show here, pretty cool. I think I'm the only one that cares. Nickelodeon, they're rebooting Legends of the Hidden Temple as a TV movie in the 4th quarter of this year. It's going to be super awesome, I hope. And also, they're doing a Hey Arnold follow-up to finally, make a closing for the segue, or not the segue, I mean the cliffhanger that happened like a decade ago now or something like that. I'm not going to say I don't care about Hey Arnold, but I hope that, because like I said, this is a TV movie. I don't know if you guys know what Legend of the Hidden Temple is. I don't think you do. It was like a trivia live challenge show. And so there was like 4 different teams of 2 siblings, and they had to swim across this river or like stack monkeys or whatever. And like all the while, this like Aztec Olmec figure, which is kind of like straight up out of I don't know. I can't even explain it. You have to see this stuff. It's awesome. But basically, you have to like answer all these questions, and you continue and get to you do better and do better and do better. And because it was a Nickelodeon show of that era, if you got to the end, you got to go through like this maze where there was like hidden stuff and treasure, and like if you went in one room, you got a bike, and if you did this, you got a Nintendo 64, and all this cool stuff. But it was like a super dream at the time. I was like, yeah, I want to be on that show. So I just hope that this TV movie does well enough that it sparks enough interest that they actually make this show again, because I would totally tune in at least once.
Can you imagine that being a trend, though? Game shows getting the narrative treatment?
Yeah, that's so bizarre.
Yeah.
I
mean,
don't know.
like this has the setting for it, you know, just I guess the general design and like sort of mythology behind it. You know, it's not like you're gonna get a movie version of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Well, actually, no, we got Slumdog Millionaire. Never mind, and that was great.
Yeah, you got that. Yeah, exactly.
Have either of you? Do you either of you have watched
Quiz Show?
Friends?
No, I was gonna say there's Quiz Show too, which is like one of the best movies in 1994. So
Okay, I guess. I mean,
So maybe it could be a thing.
the game show seems like it had a lot of mythology. So
it really did. Like like I said, it was like in touch with Aztec and Mayan and like Incan culture, and those were the kind of like trivia that would be. It was like, I can't even mimic it. This is one of those things that you just got to go on YouTube and I see clips of this, and it was like super kitschy. It was like the teams were like the blue barracudas and the silver monkeys, and it was like the what was it, the orange, it was like the purple snakes or something, and like I've seen shirts of these on the internet, and they don't sell for that. Like not too much. It'd be a cool like cheapo Halloween costume. I don't know. There was just something cool about it. It wasn't the only Nick show at the time. Like there was something called Nickelodeon Arcade, where it was like you had to play arcade games. That like you had to answer questions, and then you could play the games. Whenever you got the high score, like got points. At the end, you were actually in a video game. And there's Global Guts, which was like just sports. Where it was like it was like the Olympics, but you had to like climb at the end. You had to climb this big mountain, and I really liked Nickelodeon as a kid. There was some cool stuff. That's what I'm trying to get at here. They need to bring back kid-friendly game shows with cool activities attached.
You know, I don't think I ever saw this, but do you remember the show Moolah Beach?
No.
Like, I think it was on Fox Kids, like in the early 2000s. That's kind of what this reminded me of.
I'm sure if you
Like,
saw a
just
video.
hearing you talk about it, yeah.
I don't know. If you saw a video, maybe not. But it's super. I mean, it's not like this is an original concept. They had a lot of game shows. Like it's it's the kids' game show. Like Double Dare was like this even, or like I mean to a lesser extent, but like Wild and Crazy Kids. You guys probably don't know what that is either.
Yeah, no, I know that.
You know that one. You know Arnold Schwarzenegger was on an episode of that one once.
Really?
And even crazier than that, one of the hosts, his name was Omar Gooding. That's Cuba Gooding Jr.'s older brother. Nickelodeon fun facts.
But so, does anybody get slimed in the Hidden Temple?
No, it was
That's too bad.
pre-Slime, and it was like its own
Ooh.
setup. Like Slime was just like it was on Figure It Out and Double Dare. It was like on their wacky stuff. What would you do? That show was really bizarre. I miss those shows. There used to be like this channel, Nick Game and Sports, and all they would be was syndicated episodes of these kind of shows, and they took it off the air in like 2008 or something. Viacom needs to get their shit together. I would pay for that channel. I'd pay a lot of money.
I remember they had like a lot of motocross stuff that I liked.
Yeah, it was like their bumpers too. It was just extreme sports. Or like they'd have things where it'd be like Tony Hawk would teach you how to ollie, or like something like that.
There was like the Nick version of BattleBots or something.
Yeah, apparently there's like a new show like that where it's drone warfare. I can't remember the name right now, but it's a kids show. And so someone's like, they need it because how they brought back BattleBots. They're like, they need to make the adult version of this where they have flamethrowers or something like that. But
As long as it's better than Battleship.
Yeah, Battleship.
Directed by Peter Berg, who was in Shocker.
Yes, and I mean he's also the director of Friday Night Lights.
And the director of Battleship.
It's funny, but I mean, he made Lone Survivor, and Battleship was the deal to make that, and Lone Survivor ended up making more money. So what the fuck do studios know?
It's funny you mentioned that because earlier in the show we were talking about the Patriots Day, the Boston Marathon bombing movie that he's directing with Mark Wahlberg and J.K. Simmons, which is getting the Lone Survivor treatment, coming out limited in December and wide in January. The exact same thing.
Oh well,
Hooray.
Yay!
yeah. Why would you guys think of that?
Nothing really, just interesting.
Nothing. Just brought it up.
We said
Just
what I
kinda
just
happened.
said. Yeah, it just happened. I mean, we talked about Peter Berg being in Shocker, and then we talked about Shocker.
Yeah, basically, I've been like trying to infiltrate this episode and direct it towards either Wes Craven or the Muppets.
I did the
It's not a
Muppets
bad
on my
route to go.
own, to be honest.
No, it didn't. I definitely brought up Muppet Treasure Island.
Yes, but I was like, let's talk about the season finale.
Which I appreciate, because that was kind of like what my dream would be to talk about on a podcast, so I'm glad it happened.
I just hope Gloria Stefan stays, because she has a lot of attitude.
Yes.
And, waffle? I'm getting waffled here, frog! All that business. But Nickelodeon, we I think it was like a month ago now, we were talking about their Nicktoons movie coming from, what's his name, the director of Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah.
And, like, I guess this is just another step in that direction. Because that's live-action animation crossover event, and this is, like, recycling name brand recognition for Generation X's kids to get involved in TV. And that's so, like, if I had a kid, I'd be like, oh my god, there's a Legends of the Hidden Temple movie. We gotta watch it, guys. Get the DVR set, get the popcorn popping. And that's probably what they're hoping for. I don't know.
I don't know. I always still feel about all this, just capturing on '90s nostalgia. I'd rather see new stuff and just move on. But
I mean, we just reviewed Teen Wolf.
yeah,
There's a very successful MTV show which capitalizes on 80s nostalgia,
yeah,
which is
I know,
Viacom. So if they're doing it there, Viacom will do whatever the hell they can. So
Yeah, no, it's a cultural movement that I'm just not on board with.
just wait.
That I complain about like every time.
Just wait until it's like, 10 or 15 years from now, they're trying to capitalize on the 2000s, and it's like there's like a NSYNC biopic that Justin Timberlake
God.
directs or something.
Well,
You know what? Maybe that could be cool, or a Backstreet Boys one. Who knows?
No, because see,
And-
no one in the Backstreet Boys is still famous. Like the most famous one is like Nick Lachey, and that's just
that
by
was Maroon 5. No, wait, no, that was
98
whatever
Degrees.
98 Degrees.
yeah, or not Nick Carter. Was Nick Carter's brother? He was in Backstreet Boys, right?
No,
Yeah.
Nick Carter was in Backstreet Boys.
There you go.
Aaron
Aaron
Carter
Carter.
was
Yeah. So yeah, there's like the most fame that Backstreet Boys have gotten in the last decade was being in This Is the End.
Which was awesome.
Exactly.
Like that was their fame. Like, you got JC Chazé still on TV. Justin Timberlake is obviously international, triple threat. Joey Fatone wasn't he the guest, like the host on that the 1 versus 100 or whatever singing show?
Oh yeah, he was in My Big Fat Greek Wedding.
Oh yeah, he's probably in the sequel.
He is. I checked.
Wow, that's sad. And Lance Bass was on something too when he came out.
Well, he was in NSYNC.
No, I'm saying like they all were in
Oh.
something like after NSYNC disbanded, like not counting. Was that the Grammys? When was that the MTV Music Video Awards where they had their like reunion for 5 seconds? Where was that? It was publicized. It was so big. It was like, yeah, they're getting back together, and then I think it was the Grammys, and they literally were on stage together for like 30 seconds, and then Justin like just took over and did like one of his solo songs. It was so sad. He's like, yeah, you got enough spotlight. I can't share enough. Like, that was it. Bye, bye, bye. Like that was the song. But yeah, that's the show. You already heard this at the end, but just to reiterate, you can catch us all over the internet, Facebook and Twitter at Dollar Reviews. You can follow us on anywhere really. YouTube.com/Dollar Review. No S at the end of that. You can send us emails at brian@dollarreview.net or steve@dollarreview.net. Very much over the internet. Tune in, Stitcher. I don't even know. There's so many. Find our website. Yeah, that's about all I got now. Not everyone took a 3-hour nap.
Well,
And for the record, my Twitter is at
Yeah.
It's Raining Brens.
not
And,
a bad name.
Thank you. Also, my podcast is Scream 101 Podcast. Scream 101 Podcast. We're on iTunes and SoundCloud.
Should bump up your repertoire.
I've never met anyone who uses Stitcher, so I've never thought of it as like a real thing.
No, yeah, I'm just on these things just in case there are people that are on them.
Yeah, the
Oh,
more
that's good.
exposure you can get, right?
It's like
Yeah,
nine
if
times out of
you're
10, I'm pretty sure someone listens to our podcast on iTunes.
Yeah, but if you're that lonely Stitcher fan, hit me up on Twitter. Let me know.
Do it or tune in radio.
Just put your eggs in multiple baskets.
That's fair.
It's not Easter quite yet. I don't do that.
You get the.
I
God damn
I
it.
save all egg related activities until Easter.
Yes, it's called Oogology. Thank you.